a career in public relation? A career in public relation is highly lucrative as almost every company is trying to build its brand in a space that is largely online. A public relation manager is in charge of having a plan and a strategy in place as to what and how it wants to communicate its brand image to the outside world and also maintain it, be it offline or online, in a way that is beneficial to all its stakeholders. Communications, image management, and media relations are three components of a brand management strategy, and a PR manager is in charge of this. PR people are actually storytellers. Their job is to protect, enhance, and build reputations through traditional media, be it print or television, or through social media in the digital age, or through self-produced communications. If you are a student wanting to make a career in PR, it's important for you to first understand the field adequately and assess whether you have the aptitude and passion for it before taking a plunge. So, what does the job of a public relation manager involve? If you feel that PR industry is all about glamour and good communication skills, as it is made out as projected in the movies, then you are mistaken. There is much more to PR than these two requisites. It constantly demands hard work, innovative thought process, convincing ability, in-depth knowledge, creativity, ability to analyze, and whole lot of awareness. PR is basically a persuasion business where one is actually trying to convince an audience to promote your idea, purchase your product, support your position, or recognize your accomplishments. It requires much more than just writing a mail or conducting a meeting. A good PR practitioner will analyze the organization he is working or responsible for, find positive messages, and translate those messages into positive stories. When the news is bad, they have to formulate the best responses and do the damage control through various tools at its disposal. A classic example I remember is, which you can all relate to, is from the movie Corporate, wherein a beverage industry is charged of having harmful chemicals in its product. And that's where a PR manager comes into picture as to how you communicate your message to the consumer or to the outside world and to the media, and make sure that there's a minimum possible loss to the company and go for damage control. You have to have the knowledge of the organization at the back of your hand and drive your communication through a lot of hard work and passion. The tools on which you develop your skills include the following: writing and disseminating press releases, speech writing, writing story pitches, and persuading journalists to take them up and print them in their media, creating and executing special events designed for public outreach and media relations, conducting market research on the firm or the firm's messaging, expansion of business contacts by personal networking or attendance and sponsoring at the events, and writing and blogging for the web in this digital era. Crisis strategies: how you take the company out of its possible crisis which you foresee. Social media promotions and responses to negative opinions online, which is becoming increasingly important. In fact, some companies hire PI manager especially for online reputation management and to solve the online queries. Then designing sustainable media campaigns. These are tools which are at the disposal of the PR manager to communicate his message. Now, let's take a look at what are the educational qualifications required. To become a PR professional, one needs to have a bachelor's degree or above, preferably in the field of mass communication from a reputed college. One can also acquire a diploma course in PR and marketing, which will help to understand the nitty-gritty about the PR industry. So now let's look at what are the skills needed for a career in PR. If you want to take up a career in public relations, here are some of the possible traits that you need to have. It's inclusive but not exhaustive. Number one, ability to acquire in-depth knowledge. If you are a PR person, you need to have in-depth knowledge about not just your client, but about the industry, about the competition and the business governing it. If you do not have the ability to read beyond the opening paras or the headlines of a newspaper stories, you are not cut for the job, my friend. In fact, you should be a kind of person who will read page 1, then go to page 3 or page 5 to read the complete story in depth and then analyze it. In-depth study, detailed research and analysis, thorough understanding of the field is a basic requirement to be a successful PR. You should be able to read newspaper cover to cover, word by word. Not only do you need awareness about the industry you are working for, you also need to have a general awareness about the developments in the world and have a knack of using those developments to weave out stories intellectually in a way that is beneficial to all the stakeholders involved. In a nutshell, you must think like a journalist even when you are actually pushing a promotional branding campaign. If you are good at acquiring in-depth knowledge, researching and analyzing, you have a good chance of succeeding in this business. Number 2 is thoroughness. What do we mean by thoroughness? It means an eye for the detail. As they say, the devil lies in the detail. There is no scope for even a minor mistake when you are sharing facts or figures with the journalist. Even a minor error can be a huge embarrassment for your client and will play havoc with your reputation. We have seen so many such cases on television or newspaper. That is why a good PR person should always have the ability to do their homework well. A good PR person should check and double check the facts and the statements. Good communication, quality number 3. Without doubt, good communication skills, both verbal and written, are another critical element of a good PR person. Good communication skills doesn't just entail an ability to get along well with people. Rather, it implies an ability to put a point across with cohesion and conviction, an ability to convince a person through facts and arguments, and an ability to engage in a fruitful conversation. PR is not just about emailing press releases, my friend, and an article to journalists. It is also about educating and informing them about issues crucial to your client and convincing them that those issues are serious enough to be taken up in the newspaper. Number 4 is creativity. A good PR person connects the client's products, ideas, causes, and key messages to the audiences that they seek to reach. The person should therefore be creative enough to make those ideas interesting for people to engage with. He or she must have the ability to come up with new ideas or ways to represent their client in the media. In a world where digital and social media has become rather important, creativity also helps garner eyeball and footfalls for your business. Quality number 5 is congeniality. Well, PR requires you to meet new people every day and engage them in discussion which are important for you. You cannot be an introvert or a person who is not fond of socializing and still do well in PR. You need to have a pleasant personality and ability to strike conversations with anyone and have a congenial demeanor. So my friends, hope you found this video useful and take an informed decision in deciding a career in PR. So do write in the comments if you have any queries, and don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel for more such updates in the field of various careers. Thank you so much.